What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the vlog. Today we're going to talk about how we took $40,000 and turned it into $4 million. But first, I'm hungry. In my opinion, best banh mi in the city, hands down. And we're so close to the property that if you live there, come here all the time. Dangerous. Absolutely delicious. All right, I figured point out some local hot spots on our way to the property. So this right here is a great Vietnamese food market if you are in the mood to get some awesome Asian groceries. We got your local Burger King. If you want your Whopper. Bar on the left here, really good brunch, cool patio, great food. We have Pho Lay, which is awesome Vietnamese noodle soup on the left here. My wife and I go there all the time. And big Vietnamese population here in Dorchester, so awesome Vietnamese food. Homestead Bakery on Cafe right on the corner here. Awesome coffee, awesome breakfast sandwiches, really good sweet treats. Cocoa Leaf is an awesome bubble tea place. Some Asian pastries right next to King's Smoke Shop if you're into that type of thing. A Target. It's not a full-size Target, it's a smaller Target, but it's awesome to have something like that in the city that you can just pop by. So in order to understand how we turned $40,000 into $4 million, kind of need to tell the whole story on how we bought the property, how we acquired the property, how much we put into the property, how we stabilized the property, and ultimately how we refinanced the property. So we bought this property right at the beginning of the pandemic. 2020, I think it was April 2020 is when we closed or when we got this property under agreement. So funny story is we actually put an offer in on this property pre-pandemic and we were outbid by somebody. Pandemic happened. He pulled out or backed out of the deal because everything was falling apart in the world. And so the broker called us and was like, hey, you know, the guy backed out. You were kind of the next strongest offer. So we decided to jump in. Risky, obviously the world was shutting down, but we said, you know, it was a good deal, good opportunity. We might present some challenges because of the pandemic, but ended up getting this under agreement April 2020, and I believe we closed in July of 2020. We ended up paying $1.33 million for this house. In addition, Ray and I each contributed $20,000 towards the purchase, so $40,000 total. And then we raised a total of $465,000 from our investors. So, like I said, we closed on this building in July of 2020, middle of pandemic. The city was shut down, we had eviction moratoriums, the world was basically closed. So we ended up closing on the building. The building, it's an 8-unit building. When we purchased the building, 7 of the 8 units were actually occupied and being rented. Way undervalued. The building was an absolute dump. The prior owner owned it probably for 20 years, didn't spend a dime on the building. The place was falling apart. The living conditions were gross, to be honest. So, and the tenants knew this, the existing tenants knew this. So we came in and we had to negotiate with them. We had to figure out what worked best for them, what worked best for us, and kind of figured out what the right move was, because obviously the last thing we wanted to do was have to try to go to court, which we couldn't because all the courts were closed. So we ended up, you know, offering them an incentive to stay. So we closed in July, and what we did to each tenant was we said, okay, you can stay here for free until the end of the year, end of 2020. So you have July, August, September, October, November, December. You have almost 6 months free rent until the end of the year, as long as you sign a piece of paper saying that you will be out as of January 1st. And to be honest, a lot of them really appreciated that. A lot of them appreciated the ability to have the time to find a new place, the ability to have the time to save money because they weren't paying rent for those 6 months to be able to put a deposit down on a new place. And to be honest, 2 or 3 of them asked for help for a down payment or a deposit on a new apartment. We were happy to help. It benefits them, it benefits us. We're able to, start the project or start the renovations or updates that much sooner. So closed in July of 2020. Tenants were all out by probably ended up being mid-January of 2021, and then we jumped into construction. We ended up spending about $350,000 on the renovations here. It took us about 6 months to complete, but like I said, the place was not in good shape. So we did all new kitchens, all new bathrooms, all new flooring, all new paint, all new light fixtures, pretty much rewired the entire building, mostly replumbed the entire building. We added laundry in the building on 2 of the 4 floors. We repainted the entire exterior, re-landscaped, and just did a whole bunch of cosmetic updates to the entire building pretty much to bring it up to the latest and greatest, because obviously we want to try to get the top rents here. So if you're enjoying the content so far, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future videos. Let's jump on to the next subject. So once we finished the renovations, it was time to lease the property or lease the building up. So how did we do that? We hired a local broker who specializes in workforce housing, and we put it out on the market. How long did it take us to lease the building? It probably took us too long. I think we signed our first lease in August of 2021, and we signed our final lease to fully occupy the building in February of 2022. I think a lot of factors played into why it took a long time. First being, we were very, very selective on what tenants we wanted to take. Because we just finished the renovations, we wanted to put in good tenants that were going to take care of the building, take care of the units. We were also looking for top of the market rents. So we are looking for between $2,300 and $2,400 a month on these units. So because of that, it tends to take a little bit longer. So between being super picky on what tenants we accepted and that we wanted to also be at the top of the market in terms of rents for the neighborhood, it took a little bit longer than we wanted, but ultimately we got higher numbers than we originally underwrote the deal on, and that was even more important. Waiting those extra months and getting those higher rents added way more value at the end of the day. So after the building was fully leased up, we wanted to refinance the building and reevaluate the value of the building so we could pull the money out, repay our investors, and that way Ray and I were able to own this building outright, no investors involved. So we started the refinance process with a local lender. We actually hired a broker to help us with that process. And what they did was they went out to the market and they advertised it or pitched it to a bunch of lenders. Those lenders got back to us with all of their terms, and we selected the lender with the best terms, or that we liked the best. So ended up closing on the property. We got the appraisal back on the refinance, and the new appraisal came back at just under $3 million. So we bought the building for $133, put $350,000 into it, and at the end of the day, it was reappraised at just under $3 million. So we were able to refinance the property, get all of our investors' money back, and then be into the property for ultimately no money out of our pocket. So just that $40,000 investment turned into a $3 million worth of value. So the final piece to this whole puzzle is this lot behind me. So the building came with this large lot behind us, and we thought there was value associated with that lot. So what we did was, while we were renovating the building, we started the process with the city to subdivide this lot, which means pretty much cutting the lot in half or a little less than half, and having this building on its own parcel, and then having this entire lot as a separate lot, and going through the process with the city to try to get an additional building approved for back here. So we ultimately got 6 residential units approved with 13 parking spots. So what that means is, in addition to the $3 million value that this building had, we now have approval to build a 6-unit new construction building behind us. We fully intended to actually build it ourselves, but while we were in the process of refinancing this building, we got an offer from someone who was interested in purchasing the property, or the approved plans with the lot. And the number was too good to pass up. So we ultimately accepted the offer. We're in the process of getting the plans fully approved now with the city, finalized. And then once that happens, we end up closing. So we actually got $1 million for the approved plans in this lot. So let's break down the final numbers here so we can kind of come full circle, and I can explain to you how we took that $40,000 and got to the $4 million. So paid $133 for the building, put about $350,000 into it. Ray and I, out of our pockets, put in $40,000, $20,000 from me, $20,000 from Ray. We raised $465,000 from lenders. Once this building was built, completed, stabilized, we refinanced the building. The new value of the building is $3 million, and we're selling the lot for $1 million. So between the value of the building and the money we're getting for the lot behind us, that's a grand total of $4 million. So we turned our $40,000 investment into $4 million worth of value and or cash. So it's not $4 million of cash in our pocket, but it's still a good amount of money in our pocket, and we have a $3 million asset associated with that. So this was an incredible deal. It doesn't happen very often. This is kind of what they call a unicorn deal. You get these very, very rarely. I think we just ended up getting it at the right time, right at the beginning of the pandemic, when no one was really buying, the city was shutting down, people were walking away from deals. And that's really when the opportunity is. When everyone's running from something, you want to be buying. And it might not look good then, or it might not seem like the right decision then, but ultimately it will pay back in more ways than you can imagine. So that being said, we'll end it here. Any questions, comments, write them down below. If you're interested in learning more about refinancing, the BRRRR model, as you say, we're going to be doing more detailed videos on that topic. So like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. See you on the next vlog. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of the vlog. In this episode, I don't want to say episode twice.